I think going, into these games next week, that no British swimmer has ever defended an Olympic title. I think that's obviously in the back of my mind, that obviously I want to do that, but it's not a distraction. And obviously, as every Olympics, I want to inspire as many people as I can back home. And especially this year, when people have been been through such a rough time, that we can show that just because we have been through that doesn't mean that we have to stand still or, retreat or kind of take a step backwards. We can always, go through that adversity with a bit of British humour and say, you know what, let's have this one and, take it on the chin, really. So I get a lot out of that. And, in that back in 50, that is what I'll show. I think, that kind of pure passion and that pure inspiration and motivation, that just comes naturally to me. And hopefully when people wake up in the morning, that I can show that I have done that. And but we'll see how the heats go. I always felt like I was charging, but now I can switch off very easily. And it might be able to do, with having a kid. I feel like I've got more energy when I come on a holding camp because I haven't got a kid screaming or a kid to feed or a kid to hold. But also I think, it is having a bit of maturity, growing this. I think I've grown more in this last year than I have in the last 6 years. And I think if you look at a picture from me at Rio and you look at a picture now, it's like I've had 10 kids. So it's like, I've got a little bit of a face change, but I think that's part and parcel with it. As you do grow older and you do become a better athlete and a more experienced athlete, these environments come a lot easier. And also, what it means to bring back a gold to the country. So yeah, it's a good position to be in. I think it comes down to, and it's, it sounds very cliche, but I'm very obsessed with continuous improvement and, continually pushing the boundaries of what is possible. I don't want to end my career and go, I should have done that, or I should have done this. And it's that relationship that I have with the team and the people behind me that, makes me that person. But I think it's also, I just love to race. I love to scrap. And I like to dominate. That's why I swim. That's why I race, because it just gives me something that I can't get in a normal life. So, it's quite a hard question. It's quite a hard question, because obviously you have got to think about the normal people who do live here. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got to have the realization and respect for the athletes who have trained 5 years every single day, getting up at 5 a.m. and going to bed at 10:30 with a screaming baby. And they commit their whole lives to this moment for this, 3-week, 4-week long event. So, yeah, you're never going to get the right answer. And, you've got to look at it in a way that if you sat everyone around the table, everyone's going to have an opinion. This is great. This is why it's happening. Or this shouldn't happen because of this. You go to another guy, they don't really have a preference. So it literally changes as you go around the table. But for me, I think, obviously I'm biased because I want them to happen, because I want to race. But I can feel for the home nations who, don't want these games to happen, or, people, back home who don't want these games to happen. And, you've seen it at Euros where you see, a lot of people together, and it could be a super spreader. You just don't know. And for me, I've got, I am double vaccinated, and I've took every single measure to make sure that I'm not going to spread it to anyone else if I did have it. I'm wearing masks, double masks, and that's all I can do. And some athletes are coming out here without any vaccinations, and you've got to ask the same question to them. So it's, unfortunately, it's not an easy answer to answer, unfortunately.